Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a summit wants to combine a program focusing on preventing violence, abuse, and bullying with Prestonsburg educators. And folks in Moorhead, local and college students alike, are experiencing issues with affordable housing.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Thursday to you. I'm Amelia Lee with you on this May 1st at 6:30 this morning. And as meteorologist Megan Dusmal has been saying, it's been a foggy start to our morning as well as kind of a hot start too. I'm just excited for the 60s this weekend. Right? Am I right?
You are right. Wow, you're really paying attention to the forecast this week, huh? Yes, we're going to have some much cooler temperatures this weekend, so definitely looking forward to seeing the upper 60s instead of these 80s. So let's break into that forecast first, starting off with that fog chance, as we do see some dense fog for our southeastern counties. Harlan, 0.3 mile visibility, 3 miles in Middlesboro, and 4-mile visibility in Jonesville. Even if your city says 10-mile visibility, please take note that higher elevations could still run into some low-lying clouds, so be safe on the roads. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar, seeing a little bit of some showers as we're traveling to Campbell County, Tennessee, as well as a little bit of some pop-ups as you're traveling towards Logan, West Virginia. We'll continue to see those chances stay slight for the morning, but increase as we're heading into the afternoon and evening hours. Current temperatures are sitting in the 60s, seeing 71 in Monticello, and we'll just continue on that warm trend as we head into the afternoon with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. Amelia.
We have new details about an officer-involved shooting in Madison County. Police say a man is behind bars after he tried to kill an officer. Berea police say Dustin Allen drove into an officer outside the Walmart Tuesday and pinned him between the car and a cruiser. An officer fired into the car, hitting 2 passengers. Police say the car Allen was driving was stolen. The officer has been released from the hospital. Allen is facing an attempted murder charge. State police responded to another officer-involved shooting. This time it's in Boyd County. The critical incident response team was called to Blackburn Avenue in Ashland Tuesday. State police say Ashland police responded to a trespassing complaint at a home. They say a man with a gun left the scene before they got there. Police later encountered the man and there was a standoff. The man was shot and did die from his injuries. A CDC report says there has been a decline in overdose deaths in America, including right here in Kentucky. The most recent data is December 2023 to November 2024. The report says there were 1,591 predicted overdose deaths, which is actually a 27.5% decline from the more than 2,000 overdose deaths in the period before that. In terms of the whole United States, there was a 26.5% decline in overdose deaths. Student protests continue at Rowan County Senior High School, with community members joining the call for Principal Jordan Mann to be fired. People began calling for Mann's resignation after he was accused of failing to act on numerous reports of misconduct involving the school's former girls soccer coach and a player. Yesterday, the superintendent did take some action, but as Grayson Passmore reports and former students say, this is a step in the right direction, but not enough.
But no, if it weren't for these students, honestly, no change would have been made without them.
Dozens of students held walkouts the past 2 days, and more than 2,000 people signed a Change.org petition calling on the resignation of Rowan County High School Principal Jordan Mann. Newly obtained court documents allege Mann and other district leaders failed to report claims that former soccer coach Andrew Zahari was sexually assaulting an underage student in 2022.
It's the first step. This doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean this is the end of it all.
Superintendent Michael Rowe sent an email saying Mann is being reassigned to other duties outside of the high school for the remainder of the 2024-25 school year. Jade Kelsey says they're relieved some of their concerns are being heard, but they're disappointed more hasn't been done yet.
It doesn't make anybody ungrateful to be disappointed by the outcome. That just means they're going to have more room for more hope and fighting them.
It kind of defeats the purpose, though, because if they don't fire him, it's really not meeting the demands of protesters. But it is a good decision in the end for us as students.
Former and current students like Kelsey and Mason Roberts say they aren't giving up.
It is so important to fight for the current students, former students, and future students, because that's how we protect them from this happening again.
In Rowan County, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
Rose says an acting principal will be named soon. Zahari is serving 22 years in prison for production of child pornography and child sex abuse. A Rockcastle County school bus and a pickup truck crashed at around 3:30 Tuesday afternoon. 23 kids were treated and taken to Rockcastle Regional Hospital for evaluation, along with the bus driver and monitor. First responders say only minor injuries were reported. Green Dot programs focus on preventing violence, abuse, and bullying, and a large part of that mission starts with young people. So Mountain Comprehensive Care Center hosted an event to bring Green Dot principles and young adult education to the same stage. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at this year's summit in Prestonsburg.
Students from Floyd and Martin counties gathered together Wednesday to discuss standing up and coming together.
Just the outpouring of love and care and commitment to one another really is what I enjoy.
The Green Dot Youth Summit brought Mountain Comprehensive Care's healing program mission to the Mountain Arts Center.
It really focuses on preventing violence, preventing a lot of things that youth encounter in a negative way, and it inspires them that they can be somebody. So you're catching people on the cusp of adulthood and telling them you have a future, you don't have to succumb to negative things, you don't have to succumb to bad relationships. You are important, you matter, and you can do something with your life.
Organizers say from the speakers to the special performances, they hope the juniors and seniors will take away something they can hold on to, encouraging them to look after themselves and one another.
We love Green Dot because if we can reduce the numbers of harm to others, then we've done our job.
The students say some of the stories will stick with them forever, like Betsy Lane teacher Terry O'Brien, who was injured in 1996 when his family's car was struck by a DUI driver, leaving him to rely on a wheelchair.
Because of that and the injuries I have, I can never be a dad. And I think that's why God made me a teacher.
Precautionary and for DUIs, to warn people about it.
An event that students say is all about showing them they are not alone today.
It's just been interesting learning everybody's story about how they got to where they're at today, and just it's good for everybody that's going through a hard time.
While reminding them they are all capable of building a better tomorrow.
You are built to do something.
In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The event also included tables with mental health resources and more, all supporting the Green Dot community mission. Community members in Moorhead say the city is in a unique position with both students of Moorhead State University and the city seeking affordable housing. Last night, residents gathered at the Moorhead Conference Center to voice their concerns. Kentucky Tenant's Executive Director Adrian Williams says Wednesday night's meeting was a chance for the organization to inform renters on the importance of advocating for the city to perform proactive rental inspections.
That there isn't painted over mold, that these units have not been chronically neglected, and that if they have been, that this neglect is being, renovated.
Many of the renters who shared their stories also say their housing options are both unaffordable along with dangerous living conditions. Ford CEO Jim Farley announced yesterday the automaker is extending its employee pricing offer to car buyers for another month through the 4th of July. The goal is to attract consumers nervous about increasing prices because of new tariffs on imported parts and auto parts.
We're seeing double-digit sales increases since March and April, but we ran this employee pricing. I don't know if that's unique to us. There may be a lot of customers going out and buying cars before what they fear is the imports increasing prices. That may be a dynamic we're certainly seeing. Our inventories are shrinking at the dealership.
Farley says Ford has not decided if prices will go up after the employee pricing promotion ends. He says one factor will be what competitors do with their pricing. Attorney General Russell Coleman says he's doing what he can to keep Kentucky's cars and trucks on the road. Coleman called on the U.S. Senate to block California's attempt to push what he calls an unreasonable green agenda on the nation's automotive industry. This is in response to the EPA issuing a ruling approving California's attempt to ban gasoline-only cars by 2035 in the final hours of former President Joe Biden's term. In Clay County, there will be a car, truck, and bike show in Oneida this weekend. The event, hosted by Oneida Outdoors of Clay County, will be at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and it'll be at that community park. There will be food trucks, and folks even have a chance to win a car. Tickets for the drawing to win that car are $5 each, or 3 for $10. Temperatures continue to warm up this spring, so you might be wondering, is it finally safe to plant my flowers? Common belief in our area is to wait until after Derby Day, but Joe Ellis from Sunshine Grow Shop says it may actually be a little earlier than that. It just depends on the forecast leading up to Derby Day to determine if it is safe or not.
A week before Derby, and if you get a good 14-day forecast, nothing dropping below 40, you can put out almost any of the flowers that you like. If there's something in the forecast below 40, there are certain ones that you might want to stay away from. They're a little bit more cold sensitive.
Ellis says in the 40 years he has worked with plants, he has only seen a freeze significantly affect plants once in the month of May.
Well, the good news for our region is as you're going into this weekend, temperatures are not expected to drop below 40. However, this morning, we're looking at very warm temperatures getting into the upper 60s and low 70s right now. 71 degrees in Monticello and 70 in Somerset. We'll continue to see those temperatures climb into the afternoon with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. So again, it's going to be another very warm day in the forecast. We are looking at some chances of storms. However, right now on live pinpoint Doppler radar, we are staying nice and clear. That'll be the trend for at least a while before we start to see those storms in the afternoon and evening. What you need to know as you head off to the bus stop, temperatures will be in the upper 60s. So a warm start and some fog as you head into some portions of our region. By the time you're heading home, we're looking in the upper 70s, low 80s with chances of rain and storms. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. It's 6:41 and we have more mountain news on the way. The race is about to begin in Louisville as contestants and viewers prepare for this year's Kentucky Derby.